Good evening, my beautiful butterflies and fly guys. Listen, I know you're ready to get into tonight's discussion. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you ever wonder why, ladies, sometimes you meet a guy, he asks you out, and after the first date, you never hear from him again? Has this ever happened to you? Of course not. You all are too amazing for that to happen to you. But for your girlfriend, who may not be tuned in, this is a reoccurring theme for her, and that is why we are here to shed some light on what the problem could be. That's right, what the problem could be. So as we said on last week, since cuffing season is upon us, and we want to make certain that you at least get a second, third, and fourth date. Because as the late great Bobby Womack used to say, when it's cold outside, who are you holding? Yeah, you remember, that's old Bobby. So on tonight, we have a great show, and we're going to discuss 7 outfits. That's right, 7 outfits. Hopefully we'll get through all of them that women wear on a first date that black men, that's right, black men love, and why. And I'm not saying that it's only black men, but I know that black men do love them. So are you ready, AB? All right, let's get it. Hit it. Yeah, it's your boy in the building. Yeah.
HeSpoke fashion. I'm telling HeSpoke fashion. Not so bad. HeSpoke fashion. I'm telling HeSpoke.
All right. Listen, again, thank you for joining us. And I'm glad that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation. So let's get right to it. As I stated in my opening monologue, tonight, I'm going to break the bro code again to give you 7 outfits women wear on a first date that black men love, and simply why. So ladies, let me ask you a question. And perhaps you can help me out here in the chat. And so here it goes. Do you think it is more difficult to date now than in the last 10 years or more? And if so, why do you think that is? I want to see it in the chat. Would you say that it is more difficult because of the limited options that meet your requirements? Or could it be because men are simply deciding to not date for marriage, but for hookups, in the wake of online dating sites like Tinder and the like? Yeah, I didn't know what Tinder was either. I find that since there are not so many suitable options, I would say, that are out there, when you find one that piques your interest, you simply cannot afford to mess things up. And that's why I would suggest to all my beautiful butterflies looking for love to find you, or for my fly guys out here looking to find love, that you maximize the moment. All right? So what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Well, let me explain by simply giving you an example. A friend of mine shared this story with me that I'm now going to share with you. He stated that he met a wonderful woman a few years ago while he was traveling through the Atlanta airport. And this woman, she happened to be a flight attendant. Of course, at the time they met, she was wearing her uniform, and they actually had a great conversation that they both wanted to continue. Good for them. Therefore, what they did, they exchanged numbers, and they were both anxious, I would say, to continue their getting to know each other phase. And he went on to say, this was a time before the existence of social media. And to all my millennials out there was a time before Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the like. So where your only way of communication were either in person or via the telephone. I digress. But they communicated often through phone calls, texts, and emails. And finally, they got to the point where they decided to plan, watch this, their first date. Now, my friend, he simply wanted to roll out the red carpet in terms of what he planned for the first date. Planned a dinner at a 5-star restaurant and a night at the theater for a private concert by a very popular singer. There was an R&B singer. AB, do they have R&B singers now, or are they all pop and hip hop? I mean, they call Drake an R&B singer, right? I mean, they do, right? So, nevertheless, he shared his plans with his newfound interest. So he told her what they were going to do. They agreed that they would both fly into the city here in New York and would rent a car and pick her up from her hotel for dinner. Now, here's where it gets interesting. He really wanted to impress her. So he rented a luxury car for their date. And when he arrived to pick her up, she showed up looking like she was going to a revival at the local Church of God in Christ revival. Listen. She was sharp for a revival, but sort of out of place for a 5-star dinner date with a person of interest. Listen, let me say this. That if you are someone who says like TV star Tracy Ellis Ross, she said this in her recent Harper Bazaar interview. She stated in this quote, let's read it. It says, "I didn't see enough examples of different versions of how a woman can find happiness and joy and power and sensuality, sexuality, all of that, without it being through the lens of how I'm seen by a man. People are like, you're the poster child for being single." And I was like, great. But what I would prefer is that I'm the poster child for living my life on my terms, and that there's a version of that for everyone, end quote. So if you are content with your life and the life ahead of you as a single woman, then this perhaps is of no interest to you, and I can understand. But one thing I do know is that many do not consider the life ahead when determining their relationship status, but only their life as they know it today. So while you may often assume that you are always going to feel like doing it alone, going to dinner alone, getting the car repaired. Yeah, I know you're saying, I would just take it to the mechanic. And yes, you do. But you must take it there and not your significant other, because you decided at age 40 that you would spend the rest of your life single. And now at 60, you now realize that you wasted a lot of good years simply not dating. You know, some women are just so afraid to try that they are willing to simply give up. All right? I hope that's not you. But if it is, it's your life to live. But I get it. And if that is your decision, it is solely yours to make. And as long as you make that decision with your eyes wide open, then you will have the outcome you expect. But for the rest of my beautiful butterflies who definitely want all that God says you can have, that's right, that I want you to enjoy this live, because I'm about to bring on my very, very special guest tonight, and that is none other than Marquise Thomas. Let's welcome him to the show. Yeah. All right, Marquise, how are you? How are you doing tonight, sir? Make sure you unmute yourself. Can we hear him?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Great. Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. How's everyone tonight?
We're great. So for my viewing audience, this is Marquise's first time joining the platform. So let's see some hand claps if we can in the chat just to make him feel welcome. Can we do that? Give him some thumbs up there, some hearts. So Marquise, right off the bat, right off the jump, it says here that you have your own clothing brand. Can you tell us something about it?
Yes. Well, both of my parents are very fashionable. I've been fashionable since I was really born. Really, I've always been into it. I've always been fly, fresh.
Yes.
I won best dressed in high school, super superlative. So with that, I just decided that because I've seen two different things. I've seen the designer way, and then I've seen, the normal way, I would say, because normal is the norm to everyone. Everyone knows how to go to a department store, sift through things, and pick out something very fashionable for a good price. Mm-hmm. So I've seen both ways, and I just decided that it was time for me, because I'm very creative, it was time for me to build my own brand, to come out with my own ideas and show everyone how I express myself fashionably.
Awesome. Now is that the name of your brand there? What is the name of it?
Oh yes, it's El Royale.
Yes.
That's because my middle name is Royale, so I named it after that. And also, I feel like everyone should feel like they're royalty, especially if you're stepping out in something that I started.
Wonderful. Royale it is. El Royale. Yes. I can't wait. So now I know that you are familiar with the show, but for those of you who are not, this is HeSpoke Fashion, where we discuss women's fashion from a man's perspective. And I'm your host, Daylon Thomas. And so on tonight, I thought it would be a good idea to have this discussion and gain the perspective of a millennial. That's right, Marquise is a millennial. So of course, you know that things are different based on whose perspective they are being viewed. My perspective may be a bit different from that of Marquise. So I am excited to hear what he has to say. So in order to get this discussion started, I thought it would be a good idea to present you, Marquise, with a few events that you may want to take a date for a first date. And then we can get into our topic. And tonight, again, for those of you who may have just joined in, we're discussing 7 outfits women wear on a first date that Black men love. You have 2 of them here. So let's take a look at this, and we will be right back with our guest, Marquise Thomas. We'll be right back.
yesterday. On our first
Thank you again for joining us. And now let's get to it. Now, Marquise, tell me, from what I would consider to be a good first date, what would you love to see your first date arrive wearing? And so, listen, for my audience, I want you to chime in based on what you would wear. And if you agree with Marquise, then I would ask that you put a 1 in the chat. All right? That's how you can help us out. So, Marquise, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Born ready.
I love it. First off, we have what I would think would be a very subtle, innocent first date. And that is none other than a lunch date. All right? So we're going to start off with the lunch date. So what outfit would you love your first date to show up wearing?
All right. Are we going to for lunch, are we going to like a high-end restaurant or just somewhere to just grab a quick bite?
Now that's a good question. So I would say that your decision would be made on what you have in your pocket. If it's someone that you're really interested in, I would suggest it would be a high quality restaurant. All right, so let's go from there.
All right, high quality. I would say dark jeans, maybe a pencil skirt, a nice blouse, or like a polo shirt, but the ladies V-neck type, or a nice sweater, a cotton or velour sweater. I feel like that'll be nice, especially in this season we're in now. And for shoes, maybe some knee-high boots, or the what kind of shoes are those? They're like a slide-in shoe, but it's like a dressy shoe. I feel like that'll be good for lunchtime at a higher end restaurant.
I hear you. I like what I'm hearing. Now, what do you say, chat? In the chat, what do you say? Do you like that? Now,
yeah.
Can I ask you if any of these would be something that would get your approval? Let's look at this first one. And I think this kind of maybe. Let's pull this one. Now, she looks more like dinner to me, but this young lady who's wearing this.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what's going on in the chat.
No, I want you to say whether or not this would be something that you would like, and they're going to tell us in the chat too.
Okay. All right. So
Steven said, "Is this what she wore to work?"
Yeah, I seen that. I agree, Steven.
Maybe this is a Saturday. It's a Saturday lunch date, and maybe she's making plans for something after lunch.
Yes, that's what I would be under the impression of.
All right, let's look at this next one. What do you think about this particular one here? And you guys help me out in the chat as well. Let's see this one. It just looks like she has on a white shirt with some orange or rust-colored slacks. What do you think?
All right. Yes, that can go, but I would expect something like that after we dated for a while. I wouldn't think that for a first lunch date.
Okay, so for you would like more of the conservative on the first date, a conservative look.
Yes. Now, are those shorts or are those pants?
They're more pants. I think those were pants.
Okay, yeah, that looks like we've been dating a while. I would like something, a little bit more to spark my interest.
Wow. So I want you guys to hear what he's saying. This is a millennial saying that more clothing is better than less.
Yes.
You can't tell by Instagram, you can't tell. So let me ask my beautiful butterflies and fly guys, would either of these gain your approval, right? Would those gain your approval? So if I were to ask you from this list, what would you add to each of these to make the perfect first date ensemble? What would it be? All right, so let's show this. What would you add? And this for my beautiful butterflies, all right? I want you to tell me what you would add to this ensemble. Okay, you have the bag there. What would you add? Okay, the leather jacket, the denim. What would you add? Marquise, I heard you say earlier that for lunch that you wouldn't mind if they came with maybe a pair of jeans and a nice polo shirt. Is this something?
Mm-hmm.
What would you add to that?
Under the jacket, a white t-shirt.
White t-shirt.
Nice, a white t-shirt, V-neck, and so a little jewelry.
Little jewelry, okay. Accessories.
Yes.
Listen, accessories are important. Listen, I don't know. I'm going to speak for me now. I love it when you're wearing your earrings, when you're wearing your jewelry. Not too much, but it just adds to the appeal. What would you say about that, Keith?
Yes, and it doesn't have to be very expensive jewelry. I like the rainbow jewelry, the little jewelry off the internet. It don't have to be expensive as long as it looks nice. It don't have to be a $500 bracelet.
Absolutely. So costume jewelry, ladies. Costume jewelry is always loved by Black men. It doesn't have to be I agree with Marquise. It does not have to be expensive. Listen, if it was, we probably couldn't tell.
Right.
So listen, now before we move on to the next event or the first date, let me ask you to take a look at this commercial. And what I want you to do is tell me, has this ever happened to you? And to those that are watching on Facebook or YouTube, I want you to answer the question as well in the comments by typing, if it has happened to you, yes. And if it has not, just simply type no. All right? So let's watch this commercial and we'll be right back after this.
I'm really nervous. I don't know what I should wear.
Just wear something not too crazy. Remember, it's a business dinner, not a costume party.
On the Spotty Network, this is what she heard.
Just wear something crazy. Remember, it's a costume party.
Costume party. Yes. I'm really nervous.
Now listen, I know that was the T-Mobile commercial for your network. Don't trust any other network, they were saying in that commercial. But it seems to me that could happen to many of us, where you get invited for an event and you show up at the event and you're just as inappropriate as the young lady was wearing her own costume. So my follow-up question, Marquise, has this ever happened to you where you invited someone out for a date and they showed up and you were just totally disappointed?
Are we talking about as far as looks or outfit?
Well, I would hope to say, let's talk about the outfit. Let's talk about the outfit that, you invited her to a particular event, and the outfit, not that it was poor or poorly done, but it was just, she had the wrong event for that outfit. What would you say?
Yeah, that's happened to me. I actually went out to Miami with some people, and we're out South Beach in the middle of the summer, and we're all looking nice, and they're just out there in t-shirt and shorts and some sandals. and I was embarrassed. When I say embarrassed, I was embarrassed.
Yeah, and you know what? That totally, I can understand that. I remember inviting someone over to a cookout, and and they were thinking, okay, it's a cookout, so I'm going to wear, I'm just going to wear something very casual. And when they arrived at the cookout and they saw how everyone was just so fly and dressed, and they were like, why didn't you tell me? And I said, what? It's a cookout at night, If it's a cookout at night, this is when you want to kind of show up wearing the appropriate outfit. So listen, how did you handle that? And then, if it was someone that you were interested in and you were embarrassed by how they were dressed, how did you handle that? And did they get a second date after that?
No, I left Miami, but how would I handle it? I would just be more hands-on with where we're going, what you're doing, try to relate to them, what we're going to do, what we're going to be doing after, because maybe if you tell them a little bit more in detail, they'll be able to plan better.
Wow. That's so true. Communication is everything. Communication is key, and sometimes it's okay to be very detailed and sometimes over communicate, especially if you want them to get it right. I find that if you're really interested in the person, you do go further with the details. You do over communicate, because look, you don't want them to mess up. You want them to do well. And so listen, I know that some may say we are being shallow when we only discuss the aesthetics, but we're being honest, I would say, when we say that why this is not the only factor that Black men calculate. We can both agree that it is one of them. Let me hear you in the chat. Do you think this is something that men look at? I mean, both of us, and I'll say this, and I've said this many times before, that men are visual creatures. We're visual. And so while you may have the best personality, you may be the loving person that everyone needs you to be, we can't see that from afar. So let's move on let's move on to first date number 2. That is none other than a dinner date. Now, Marquise, this is going to be the one. You're going to have to 5-star here. So this time, watch. I'm going to present to you first several options, and then you can share what your choice is, if it is any of those, and we'll move on from there, all right? So the first one we're going to deal with is this lovely number here, a woman in blue, this blue dress, and she's ready for a high-value dinner with a high-value man. She shows up wearing this. What say you?
I'm making up an excuse if we're being honest. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you.
What is it? What is it that throws you off about this number here?
It just looks like the only thing going for it is the fact that it's short. I mean, we don't have I don't even see any earrings, no jewelry, nothing on the arms.
Wow.
It's just very plain. It's just plain.
And so on the first date, and this is what I want to share, you're making a first impression. An impression leaves an impression, right? If you impress upon anything, once it's removed, it's going to leave an impression. And so on the first date, you want to leave, you're making a first impression, but you want to leave a lasting impression. All right? So what do you guys think? Woman in Blue? Let's look at this next one.
Let's go get that chat active. Let's get that chat active.
Yeah, yes. Let's get some in the chat. What do you say about this lovely number here?
Let's see. Oh, okay. We going to I'm trying to figure out where we're going 5-star, but what type of 5-star? What type of cuisine do they serve?
Okay,
because it might work.
Let's go steak. Not 5. We know that Longhorns and Texas Roadhouse aren't 5-star, but a good first date, and just let's say you're going to one of those restaurants, and that's what you're going to have, a good steak dinner. Is
okay. Now, I'm just based off this outfit, I'm gonna just believe that I'm going on a date with an older woman. Because that's just that I wouldn't, not on a first date.
If she showed up like that,
yeah. That's more like after the kids. We trying to get back out there.
Drop the mic. Wow. All right, let's go here. Let's go on here. Okay, what about this young lady?
Let's see. Okay.
I mean, I see some jewelry there. She has a bracelet on.
Some. All right.
Let's show the next ones. Maybe this will help. She took off the coat. She took off the coat, and now
let's see.
That's denim.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this
is
denim.
Okay.
This is denim.
Okay. All right. I will. All right. We could have a second date.
Okay. Now let me ask you.
I would be interested.
Is there anything that you would add to this particular outfit that to you would make it pop even more?
Boots instead of shoes. Boots, a thigh-high boot.
You and those thigh-high.
Yeah, I like that. It just looks nice. It looks nice on the leg.
Okay.
But definitely that, a thigh-high boot, and maybe, I think that's it. I like that outfit.
All right.
When she took the jacket off.
So when she's approaching you and you see her with the jacket on, you're kind of like not impressed. But once she takes it off, you're like, okay, now we're going somewhere. Yeah. Gotcha.
She needs to take the jacket off before approaching me, because she might not get a second shot.
All right. Sometimes it is the jackets that do throw you off. I must admit. So women, invest, my beautiful butterflies, let me give you this nugget. Invest in a nice jacket. It doesn't have to be expensive, right? But something that you can pull out, and if you're going to a particular occasion, it's appropriate for what you're going to wear to that occasion. Don't just look as your coat as being something to keep you warm. No, your coat should be a compliment to what you're wearing. All right? So let's keep it moving. What do we have next here? All right, this is dinner. She shows up like this. Keith, what you gonna do?
Let's see. All right, now, I like that. We're gonna have a nice conversation. Let me see. Is that a Birkin bag? Oh, we're gonna have a nice conversation. That's a Birkin
Probably
bag.
not. That's probably a J.C. Penney.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I'm having fun. But no, absolutely, that's a good look for a dinner date. It looks like she took some time to get dressed. And I think for dinner, a nice dinner, you should take time to get dressed. It shouldn't be like, okay, I'm just very casual and walking out to have dinner. No, on the first date, again, you're making a first impression that's a lasting one. So you want to do the best that you can. And this looks like this young lady took the time to do just that. All right, what do we have next? Oh, all right, Keys, what do you...
What we got? Oh, this is dinner?
Yeah, this is dinner.
Okay.
Oh,
So
let
this
me
is
ask you this.
First dinner?
Let me
Okay.
ask you this. What are you going to wear to that first dinner date with this woman of interest?
No. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, I'm probably gonna play it safe. I have some black moto jeans, very dark black, and I have a vintage velour polo Ralph Lauren turtleneck, and it's black and red, and I'll probably pair that with my black Bottega Venitas. I'll pair it with those, and then my Invicta watch, one of those, and then I'll take it in like that.
Now that's a very good look. Let me share this with my audience. I was actually out to dinner with my father, and we were out at a Japanese restaurant, and this young couple came up, could be no more than 19 or 20. And I was totally outdone by how wonderfully fashionable they were. I mean, I went on to say to many people after that just how great this young couple looked at what appeared to me to be a first date. I mean, the young man was dressed very sharp. And you know what? The young lady was able to match his fly. Listen, there are people watching whether you know it or not. And if it's a person like me, I applaud the effort when I see a young couple dressing up like they're going somewhere. All right, so let's move on. So let's see, what is it that you would prefer to see your first date arriving wearing? And I think, Keith, this is one that let's see what you had to say here. If you saw, and let's see. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm already planning the second date.
So this does it for you.
Yes, that's everything right there.
And listen, I applaud that one. Let me see what you think in the chat. Yes, pow. I see Letitia says pow. Steven says fire. That's fire. That's agree. Right. Listen, and this is to help someone, help some young, beautiful butterfly out there that, you know, she doesn't know how far she should go fashionably on a first date. And I'm telling you, it's about making that first impression a lasting one. When you look like you took the time to prepare for the date, listen, that young man, he's going to receive that in the right way, and he's going to applaud your efforts just like we're doing on tonight. She looks like she took some time to put that together. Can't see the whole face, but it looks like she took time with the hair as well. I love it. I love it. I love it. So look, let me read a quote here. And AB, can you share this on the screen? Just share this on the screen. And it's just rules for first date, all right? It says, just remember, a first date is also your first opportunity to mess up a relationship forever. So listen, I know we're discussing, we're focusing on the fashion, but I suppose it is good to know that there are some rules for a first date, all right? Secondly, it says that crucial moment on a first date when you realize you'd rather be home watching TV with your cat. And listen to this one. I had a great time on our date, unless you didn't, in which case I didn't either. All right. So if you didn't have a good time, have you ever had that happen? You really had a good time, but when they tell you that they didn't have a good time, you're like, oh, I didn't have a good time either. Let's go to this last one. It says, let's go. Can you put that back up on the screen again? Okay. It says, good luck on your first date. Just remember to not be yourself. Come on, you've been on a date. You know, you knew you were hungry when you went to dinner, but you didn't want them to see how you really eat. And so you just picked over and ate like a little mouse, a little teensy weensy mouse. That's how you ate, but you know you was hungry. No, let's go. Be yourself. Be yourself. But again, it's good to know that there are some rules and we can laugh for a first date. Now let's move on to first date number 3. And that is none other than a good old movie. So let me ask you and the audience, Marquise, a question. Does the venue play into your decision-making when determining what to wear? For example, let me give you an example. You're going to a movie where you know the lights will be turned off and all eyes will be on the big screen. Does that make a difference to you in your fashion choices for the night? Please keep in mind that we are still on our first date. All right? So we're going to the movies. So would this ensemble be something that you would wear? Ladies, you can answer in the chat. Would this be something that you would wear for a nice movie date? Listen, for the last one, Bonnie says, I'm going to eat. It's like, she's not going to play cute. She's going to eat. I applaud that, Bonnie. That's right. Be you. Letitia says, I'm eating. That's right. Be you. Eat what you want to eat. Look, we can enjoy ourselves because we know that if you do that, you're comfortable. And on the first date, we want you to be comfortable because we want to see the real you. Would you say that's true, Marquise?
That is definitely true.
All right. So this woman in white denim and the top, is that good for a movie? I think it would be good for a movie. She showed up.
What is going on?
Can you see that, Marquise?
No, I'm having some technical Oh, there we go. Yes, that's definitely good for a movie.
All right. So let's look at what Marquise wants you to wear. Let's see what he says here. A nice movie date. Okay. Now
let's see.
It's funny. That's a very nice look. Was that a maxi dress? Yes.
Yes, either that or a sundress.
Yes, yeah. Like father, like son, I would say. Yes. So this is definitely a good look, a first date, and she shows up and she's very comfortable. She's confident enough to wear this dress. I love the accessories. What do you think of the accessories?
I like it. I like how it's not too blingy. It just goes and blends with the outfit.
Oh my goodness. Marquise, you have very good taste. And listen, we're sharing this with all you beautiful butterflies out there. Listen, cuffing season is already upon us. If you're going for a first date, you want to make a lasting impression on the first impression, all right? Hold up. Stop the show. Excuse me for interrupting and your viewing pleasure, and excuse me to my guests. But listen, guys, we're almost at the end of the show, and I haven't asked you once to do this. But if you haven't already, could you subscribe on YouTube? I would love for you to hit the subscribe button down below. And listen, if you're watching on Facebook, could you please hit like? It literally takes 2 seconds, and it comes at no cost to you, right? Now back to our conversation. All right. So before we move on,
subscribe.
Let me share a meme that I thought was interesting. All right, let's just share this meme. So the meme says, found my perfect date, my perfect first date outfit. And she's already dressed in the wedding gown.
Oh, yeah!
Yes, listen. That is a perfect segue into the next part of this discussion. Because this is what I believe. Many times when a woman decides she will accept the invitation for a first date, she is already determined exactly where she wants this date to go from that point on. So listen, I'm trying to help my fly guys out there. If you're fortunate enough to get that first date, you have to make sure that you're on point, because she's already determined, okay, if this date goes the way I want it to go, there may be a future for us. But that is really important, because that would simply imply that they understand the importance of the first impression on a first date. However, many times, I believe that the difference between men and women is further than the earth to the moon in terms of what expectations we have and what impression we receive. Therefore, I want to take this time to ask the audience, what you wearing? What you wearing, okay? So for my beautiful butterflies, listen, I want you to type into the chat what you would wear on the first date if the venue was a concert. All right? I know that we are all anxious to get back to attending concerts, and if you are fortunate enough, some of you may have already attended your first concerts. But let me hear from you what you're wearing. All right? So let me hear from you. And it doesn't make a difference as to what concert you're going to. I want to know what you're wearing. So if it's a concert at your church, what you're wearing. If it's a concert at the theater or at the Coliseum or at the Pavilion, what you're wearing. I want to know what you're wearing. What you wearing? All right. Yeah, let's give them some outfits. So let me see if any of these outfits would be anything that you would consider for a concert. So if you would like to wear this, I want you to place a 1 in the chat. All right, you're going to a concert, you and your girlfriends, or you're going to a concert for a first date. Is this something you would wear? Let me see you. 1 in the chat. All right, let's move on to the next one. Yes. Grace. Yes, this gray sweater dress. That's something that you would wear. Letitia says she would rock the boots, jeans, and a cape jacket. Oh my goodness, I love those cape jackets. I love those. Listen, Daniel's Leather is a place you want to go to get your cape jacket. Wonderful. Those to view, just go type in Daniel's Leather. Go to their Instagram, you'll see some there. I'm telling you, that's a great look. Now, let's see what Marquise has to say about what he wants. All right. Marquise, is that something? Y'all going to the concert, she wearing this?
Let me see. It's loading up now. Always see yes. Then for a concert, yes.
For a concert, yes, yeah.
Yes, because we showing off. We showing off. Like ain't probably none of them people at that concert gonna see us after the concert. So we gonna flex one time and then we gonna take it in.
Okay, I like that. Now let me ask you a question. What are you wearing to complement this outfit?
I'm wearing all black.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this, you wearing this at this point, it's not about me anymore. It's not about me at all. I'm just complimenting you, like you said. I'm just complimenting.
Oh, that is a very good point, because you're like me. You would prefer for the woman to get all of the attention, and you're just a compliment to her. Yes. So listen, I know that there are some modern women out there that say that men don't appreciate women who are fashionable, but listen, that is not true. We love it, and listen, you're the prize. Don't let anybody from the red pill community tell you any different. You are the prize, and we are gracious when we see you, and we're able to accompany you to an event. The first date is wonderful. Oh my goodness. Show the next one. All right, Keith, what you gonna do with this?
Oh, I haven't even seen it yet. Okay, I like that. I like that one a lot, because I just love long hair.
I was going to ask you, how important is the hair for you?
Very important
in that particular outfit. Yeah, listen, we don't care how many bundles you need to get. Listen, as long as it looks great with what you're wearing, we will applaud you. You have our undivided, can I say that again? You have our undivided attention. That's a good look. That's a good look. Well done, young lady. Well done. Listen. Oh my goodness. I've really enjoyed my guest on tonight. And I know that we have not been able to get through all 7 outfits for 7 first dates. So I'm going to kind of put a pin in it right here. I'm going to welcome you to join us for part 2 of our discussion next week. Marquise, before we go, can we get you to come back and join us next week?
I'll be honored.
That's what we like to hear at HeSpoke Fashion. Thank you. And listen,
grateful.
Before we go, I want to shout out your business again, El Royale, and tell me, please, when can I order one of your t-shirts and hats? I need that in my fashion wardrobe. When can I get that, sir?
You go have it in the next couple of weeks.
We're
gonna drop a link. Well, next week when we come back, I'll have a link for you so you can go and reserve your spot to order.
We love that. We love it. I love the sweatsuit. I need to get that one too. We'll talk about that one next. Yes, sir. A pleasure having you, and we look forward to you joining us back on next week.
Grateful to be here. Thank you all.
Thank you. Listen, we have come to the end of our discussion tonight, and I want to thank you all for joining. And listen, if you have not had the opportunity to do so, please hit the like button. And if you really enjoyed it, please, even right now, share it with someone else. I'm going to leave you with this. Oftentimes, when we do shows like this, there are those who question the need, because many believe that modern women are not interested in relationships anymore because they are simply all striving to simply get the bag. For those of you that may agree with that, then I understand somewhat your point. But here's mine. It may not matter to you, but when men and women are in relationships and the family unit is strong, I want you to know that the world is a better place. The first step to a family simply starts with the first date. That's all I have for you tonight. I want you to have a good night, good fashion, And remember, he spoke fashion to you. See you next week for part 2. And I hope you will join us then. Have a good night. Yeah, in the building.
He spoke, he spoke, he spoke, he spoke fashion. I'm telling you, he spoke, he spoke, he spoke, he spoke.